wicked bad movie review today.
Before we get into that, Matt Garcia said Alex Garland talked about stop making movies after the Civil War.
That was it. That was him.
Thank you, Matt. I mean, clearly we were never going to get there.
We never were getting there. I was like, I feel like there was just something that just happened. But we're doing a wicked bad movie review of. I can't find it. I don't even know if Duffy added any of this shit in here for me to put up. We're doing a wicked bad movie review of Rebel Moon Part 2. Zack Snyders' newest release that came out last Friday. And I know I watched it. I know John watched it. And all I have to say is, what the fuck? What the actual fuck?
Can I sit there and say that I actually enjoyed it more than the first one? Right? I did, which is bizarre.
I mean, there were parts to it that, I mean, I'm not going to say he doesn't put out stuff that at times can be visually stunning.
Agreed.
But there is literally a fucking scene, a 20-second slow-mo scene of Jimon Hansu filling a canteen in a barrel of water, and the view you're seeing is from the water's view. You're in the barrel, fucking looking up at him in just 20 seconds, slow motion, filling up his canteen.
Dude.
In the entire slow-mo farming thing. What was the total time of the slow motion of that? Because it had to have been 5 minutes.
I'm not 100% sure how long these slow-mos actually took inside this movie, right? But I made a comment to Duffy about this, is that I think the movie would have been a half an hour shorter if you took that shit out.
It would have been. And I said to you guys earlier, I guarantee you I could take the first and second movie, rearrange it, re-edit it, and come out with one really good 2-hour, 45-minute movie.
Sure, absolutely.
That had a decent story. I mean, like I said, the visual effects are great. I've said it before. I love the blaster bolts hitting walls and slag coming off and hitting people's slag coming off. But another design choice that I was like, what the fuck is the lens flare from these blaster bolts? Are we not supposed to be there? Why is there lens flare? Sometimes, but not all the time. I'm standing there, but there's a safety glass between me and this battle that's going on.
Right.
It makes no fucking sense. So there's some weird things that happen. And then I also had the question of when, at the end, when the resistance comes in, they're flying those planes in, or spaceships, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. They're talking, and it's human, random not human guy. And I'm like, wait a fucking second. Is this the one and only not human guy? And Duffy was like, no, the guy that wanted to get into Gunner's holes at the bar. He was not human looking.
Well, there was one other alien that was in that bar as well that was using one of the people as a mouth puppet as well.
But that was an alien.
That was an alien. That's correct.
That was it looked like his innards were on the outside and was using that guy. But then there was the
no bullshit, Dan.
Alien looking.
For space, there are 3 fucking aliens total that you see. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Everybody else is human.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre.
And then there's Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Robot.
Yeah. Robot.
Automaton. Yeah. So
I'll be honest, I'm a little mad that he wasn't faster.
Really?
You know, when he's standing there and all of those space Nazis are about to fight him, and he kind of steps in after he takes that giant blast from whatever. I was just really hoping he was going to be really fast.
So Duffy and I had discussions about this, right? Is that I understand he's supposed to be really hard to kill, even borderline impervious to a lot of shit. If that's the case, why do you have standard troops in general? Right? Now, they should have been able to conquer so many fucking things with these guys at that point, because there's an army of them, of Jameses or Jimmys or whatever they call them, right? But there's an army of these fucking guys, right? And they all
isn't that derogatory, Jimmy?
I know. It's supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah, no. Okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
The space Nazis call him Jimmy's, but he goes by James, and that's they call him James, right? But like they stopped fighting because the emperor and his daughter and the wife are all like disposed of by
Which we finally get to see,
right, and
along with the backstory of everybody else.
it's very Caesar, which is crazy to me, right?
Yeah.
Like et tu Brute Caesar, right? You know, and it's great, I guess, to see that, but like it's like not like you didn't see that shit coming a mile away, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
again, the exposition dump of everybody's backstory all at the same time, fucking awful. It's horrible to watch.
2 questions. Number 1, when she killed that girl, he was saying, well, first of all, what was that fucking face? That was like that dude was like a face wearing another person's face.
I thought it was one of the Corys. Like I think it's Corey Feldman. Kind of looked like Corey Feldman to me. No, like it's not, but it kind of looks
he did not look human.
No.
It was weird. But he's like, do it. And then she finally pulls the trigger and he's like, what have you done? And I'm like, what was that? Like, I could understand if like it was a thing behind you and like you just gave a look and you're like, we talked about this before, you need to do it. And then she shoots and then it's like, what have you done? And turns everybody against him. Like, you were literally standing there telling her to do it. And now all of a sudden you're like, murderer!
Well, everybody was fucking standing there watching her do it, right? And then he sits there, he puts on this act. I'm like, who the fuck are you acting for? Yeah. Everybody's in on it here.
Everybody's on everything. Everybody's in on it. The only people that didn't are like the 4 guys that when she kills the 2 that try to detain her, takes one of their guns, kicks the doors open, and just shoots 4 guys and fucking leaves. And they're like, the fuck did I do? I don't know. Now I'm dead.
Well, and the fact that she shoots the girl, right? She's like, I forgive you, right? Or whatever, right? And she shoots her, and all of a sudden you have this light go boop, right? And you're like, what the fuck is that? What are we? Nothing? No? Again, we're not going to explain that? All right.
Nope. See, you have to wait till Rebel Moon Part 3 for that one.
Can't wait.
It's, there are good ideas, there are bad ideas. And
there's Zack Snyder ideas.
it's not well put together.
It's not. So I want to go in and touch base on Nemesis as a character, right? So you go ahead.
The one with the metal hands?
Yes. The one with the metal hands, right?
Oh, I have.
Where her village is destroyed. Her village is destroyed, and her ancestors give her the strength to cut off her own fucking arms, right, and attach metal hands. I go, okay. All right, I'll believe the fantasy that your ancestors were like, she won't do it. You know? And then you look at the fact that her character is a complete waste of fucking time, right? She's supposed to be this awesome swordswoman, right, who takes on this giant Spider Woman in the first movie, right? And she handles that shit masterfully, right? Very, very little difficulty for what she sees. But 3 dudes come in, right, to a fucking Viking by a space village, right? And she can't handle them, loses an arm, and they get to run through her kidney area with a laser sword, or a lightsaber, if you will, right? Allegedly, right?
Yeah.
It's a wound that could be lethal, and I'm not saying it couldn't be, right? But like, it's 100% not a thing that you're going to die from right off the bat, and she just fucking drops dead from it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
I had 2 issues with that fight scene. Number 1, again, to kind of echo what you just said, she's supposed to be this amazing swordswoman. And I saw at least like 10 times during the fight where she could have killed at least one of these fucking guys, but she was just doing, and then taking a step back, and he's like, oh. And the other issue is, you had women and children in there, and they were all fucking armed, and they did nothing.
Except for that one kid.
They pulled out their fucking popcorn and said, she's got this handled.
Except
we're
that
just
one
gonna
kid,
hide behind these tables.
that one kid with the small, like little fucking kitchen knife, and was like, "Ha!"
And the
Right?
biggest issue I have with that is that he didn't stab that dude in the dick.
Yeah,
Upper thigh, okay, fine, but you don't know where the femoral artery is. You didn't know what you were doing. You should have stabbed him right in the fucking dick.
yeah.
Because that would be great. And then she pulls out and stabs him in the throat. I mean, everybody loved the dick stab in fucking Deadpool and Wolverine. Who didn't like that dick stab? Everybody
That was
liked it.
great. Everybody
Yeah.
loved it. Yeah.
Everybody would have loved it. But
You know?
instead, no. In fucking long hair Prince guy, the fuck was that
Terrible.
hat? What's that hat?
Dude, there's so many problems with that character alone. It's not even funny.
No.
Right?
It's like
You
it's
know?
like he had this hat. He was like, my dad's dead. He gave me this hat. I accidentally sat on it, but I'm still gonna fucking wear it. And I'm gonna stand here and watch my mom kill herself.
No shit. Right? And you get to watch one of those fucking dreadnoughts smash through a building in the background. Just
Yeah.
rams it. Right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you had these giant cannons on your ship, by the way, that you could just pop a hole in things. Right? You just ramming buildings for no fucking reason.
I don't even know like why you would really fucking break the atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then you had the fucking birds, the hippogriffs or the griffins that were just flying through the entire area.
Yeah,
I was like,
tearing
all right.
shit up. Oh, we're gonna pull your guns off. We pulled your gun off. You can't shoot us. Well, I'm gonna drive my fucking spaceship into your building. It's like, okay.
All right, but let's talk about that guy's fight scenes. That guy's fight scenes were fucking garbage. He gets Iron Age tools, right? Iron Age axes, right? He's hitting spacemen, right? Which have battle armor, which apparently does nothing. It's very stormtrooper armor.
Yeah,
right?
I was just gonna say Stormtrooper armor.
But he's not breaking any of their fucking armor with these things. He's literally delivering blunt force trauma that's killing them,
Yeah.
which is bizarre.
Yep.
And then he goes
And I
ahead
mean-
and
Axe. Okay, maybe the axe. Maybe. If you hit the right spot.
Yep.
But then he's hitting axe and the guy's flipping up on his back, and then he's taking the back of the axe and he's slow motion coming back down on him, and the guy's hitting the ground. Dead. No.
I mean, let's take where he takes the back of the axe, which doesn't have a sharp edge to it, and
Yeah.
he cuts a dude's fucking throat with it. And you go, what are you doing? You don't have, like, that dude's not dead. You just basically gave him a really bad rash.
I think the best thing that happened is like 3/4 of the way through the big battle is he's just like, fuck it, throws him down and picks up a gun. And I'm like, okay, finally you realize that you're not going to be able to do jack shit with this. You're just not going to be able to.
Well, let's talk the fact that those troopers from the Nazi regime there, the space Nazis, did they not go to the fucking range? They didn't hit anything.
No.
At all. And you're like, those guys were standing on a bridge out in the fucking open, right? What the fuck, man?
I mean, how? It's fucking it's knockoff Star Wars.
That's 100%.
It is knockoff Star Wars. It is, and it's poorly put together. The story is garbage. The acting is garbage.
Yep.
The effects are pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll give that. I will give that. But it's
so
I just
bad.
don't understand how people like it. I really
It's
don't.
so fucking bad. You know?
And-
And you got
Oh.
you got James, robot druid, who does a Superman drop down to one knee with his flowing cloak, right? As he jumps out of the tank, that he blows up with a grenade, right? And you go, are you fucking kidding me, Zack Snyder? You're really going to be a call back to another superhero pose? Jesus Christ.
And then he's just like, okay, bye. Just fucking leaves. He's done. And you, another thing that really fucking pissed me off. What's her face? I don't even know what her fucking name is. The Scar Giver herself.
Yeah.
The Scar Giver herself. She's in that fucking cave with the waterfall. Okay? because that's where she hides the ship.
The ship,
right?
yep.
And then James shows up, and he's like, "You cannot meet them. I'm Anthony Hopkins."
Yep.
Did you notice that the fucking waterfall behind him was in slow motion the entire fucking time? Every time you saw him.
No, I didn't. I
Fucking slow motion.
The
entire waterfall just
that's astonishing.
Fucking slowly going.
Now, I tell you what really blew my mind, right? Is how advanced these people are, right? How advanced technology they have, right? And the big gun on the dreadnought, how they put it into position is with the old fucking cranks. The guy's cranking along, and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? I was like, I didn't realize this was World War fucking II.
We're building up a dramatic climax.
Dude, he's sitting there just cranking it along, and I'm like,
and they're only doing one axis at a time, too. At least in World War II, you had guys in the fucking submarines turning 5 different things at once, getting stuff ready.
You were like, what are you doing, like, man?
Tiny little one looking through his little scope. Almost there.
Almost got it.
25 more full rotations of my tiny crank, and then we'll have the x-axis correct, and then I'll have to move to the y-axis. Okay, here we go.
Dude, it was the most bizarre thing to put it in a fucking movie ever.
Yeah, we just kept going back to it.
Yeah,
kept going back to it. Things were happening. Going back to the little man with the crank.
The only thing I found to be like, well, yeah, the only thing. The other thing I found to be bizarre, and I think Kevin brought it up as well, was the fact that as she's putting the grenades or the charges on the core, right? All of a sudden, its fucking eyes light up, like it's an actual head.
Yeah, and then nothing else happens.
And nothing is brought up about that. It's not explained. Nothing. You're like, what the fuck is that?
And why did she not hide them?
Right? Why did the soldiers who came into that fucking room not see them immediately when they were walking in?
Right. And then, to go back to that room, she kills that one guard. Why did she throw him down into the pit and then go down and jump after him?
Right?
Fucking go out the way you came. Fucking leave. They won't know. They won't know what the fuck happened. Instead, you said, all right, fuck it. Let's jump down into this pit and just start throwing guys into furnaces.
Dude, like she goes ahead, like she gets off the elevator again, fight scene, the hallway fight scene. None of those guys, none of those troopers shoot a single fucking shot at her as she comes off the elevator. She shoots everybody, right? Those guys don't shoot her at all.
I think
bizarre.
They had a Tim Allen moment. They saw her and they just went, They had no idea. They said, wait, is this the person who was supposed to be killing him? I heard it was a lady, but I didn't think it was that lady.
Yes, it's so bad.
And then why couldn't she hold the dude's sword?
I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% on that. I don't know if it was like an electric shock thing, or if it burned her, if it's super hot, right?
Was he wearing gloves?
Yes, he is wearing gloves. So it's got to be something that, like, maybe it's a shock thing, maybe it's a plasma thing. I'm not 100%. It's never really.
There are other laser swords that people handle without gloves on.
I think so. I'm not 100%. Don't quote me on that. I'd have to go back and watch it again. I'm reluctant to do so.
Because she was just like, she took a fucking hot microwave burrito out of the microwave without.
Yeah, she just wraps cloth around it. Yeah. And she goes ahead and wraps cloth around it. She's like, yeah, it's good to go.
Fucking Joe Pesci in Home Alone was hurt more from the red hot doorknob than she was from that fucking laser sword handle.
No shit. You know?
Oh my god, I just remembered another thing. Fucking Dreadnought breaks the atmosphere. They're like, bong, bong. She's like, oh, fuck. Let me cut my hair real quick.
No.
Let me slow-mo cut my hair real quick.
Fucking Christ. Yeah.
Why? And I mean, the shit that made it into this movie, I would hate to see what the Snyder cut of either of these fucking movies would actually turn out to be, the amount of random slow-mo shit that is happening, you'd add fucking 45 minutes to an hour back in of just
I'm going to be honest.
garbage.
I kind of want to see the Snyder cuts to see how much fucking worse it could possibly be.
I mean, could you imagine if it was actually better? Could you imagine if these were actually the Snyder cuts?
Oh God! if they sat there and they're like, "Oh, it's better with the Snyder cuts," I'd be like, "Jesus Christ! How? Why did you cut it down to
who
this?"
would be saying that?
All the Snyder boys, everybody that Kevin fights with online.
Is that what we call them? Are they Snyder boys? Snyder heads?
This is a good question. We have to come up with a name for the Snyder Snyder crew.
We need to coin a term for the people that blindly follow Zack Snyder's work. Zack Snyder's doo-doo.
Oh God.
You know, we'll brainstorm that one, and we will in fact post it on our Instagram at random_channel when we decide what it is. So give us a follow on there if you're interested on what we come up with. Because
I also recommend anybody who goes ahead and is watching or watches the clips of these as we go ahead and put them out, right? If you I encourage you to comment on these and sit there, and if you have a suggestion that where you think that would be great for us calling the people who follow Zack Snyder blindly,
or if it's something that already actually exists and we just don't know about it,
please do. Please let us know.
Yeah, we want to know. We want to use it.
Yeah. But basically, I mean, how many tower reads would you give this movie?
That's not the ratings that we go off of. But I mean, I don't know what Sharknado's Tara Reid has been in, but the most.
Would you put this above or below Roadhouse?
The new one?
Yeah.
I liked the new Roadhouse.
You're so full of shit.
No, I did. I told you I watched it twice.
I know.
And I would watch it a third time. The acting is terrible, especially Conor McGregor, but I mean, it was fun enough.
I'd sit there and say that this is a shit sandwich. I would not go ahead and recommend people watch this. Like anybody who's been following the ratings on this particular movie for Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver, right, has realized that this movie is just one of the worst fucking movies apparently ever made.
So on a scale of fuck me, it's actually good, just kind of meh, or wicked bad, you would give it a what?
Wicked bad.
I would also give it a wicked bad. Stamped wicked bad. I believe there's supposed to be a picture of the movie poster there, but we don't have it. So wicked bad, that's right. The official rating from Wicked Bad Movie Reviews for Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver, is wicked bad. Oh God.
It's gonna be hard to top that. I mean, it's like I think it's got like a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's fucking bad.
From critics or from it has to be higher than 14% from the viewers, because
look it up. I'm pretty sure it's like 14% across the board. I think that's the high.
Snyder knots?
Yeah, the Snyder knots.
I don't know. We're just trying stuff now. Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see. Does it even show up in the top thing? Civil War is 81%. Hot damn. 15%. Holy shit! 15% from critics. So that's a tomato meter, and then the audience score is 53%.
Get the fuck out of here! There's no way it's 53% for this fucking movie.
It's the Snidely whiplashes.
The Snidely whiplashes.
They go in before they even see the movie and say, Zack Snyder can do no wrong.
So bullshit. That
it is a masterpiece. Bullshit. I have not seen it, but it is masterpiece.
The critics have got that right. That's
they did.
That's so bad.
What hold on, we'll take a look and see what Rebel Moon Part 1 is looking at. Rebel Moon Part 1. Did you know that it was called A Child of Fire?
No.
Neither did I. Apparently it is. Slightly better. 21% critics, 57% viewer.
Dude, I don't know how the fuck he's getting above 50%. That doesn't make any sense.
It's a shit sandwich.
I agree. It's awful.
That's 2 hours, 45 minutes, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Then I'm never going to get back.
I'm never going to get back.
I mean, literally went in half hour through and I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
I've watched a lot of bad movies in my time, right? And I pride myself on watching some real dog shit movies, right? And I can sit there and tell you that there are movies out there I would prefer to watch over this that I thought were fucking terrible.
Dude, I would watch Highlander 5 times again. Watch this one more time.
Yeah, no, it's unnecessary backflips. Go.
It's it, no reason. Ah! All right.
Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you like what you saw here, make sure you're subscribed. We're trying to grow this channel and every single subscription helps. You know what else helps? Clicking that like button. Click that notification bell. That way every single time that we drop a new bit of content, you get notified about it. If you like these conversations and you want to see the full unedited versions of them, make sure you go over and check out the Random Things podcast. We go live every Thursday night and it gets crazy. We'll probably get canceled before we get too big.